vocabulary.
This one. I only have this one.
What is
Wait, oh.
frequency mean? How often?
How often?
Right?
Yep.
If something happens frequently, there is a high likelihood that it's going to happen. If something happens infrequently, it means it does not happen very often. Frequency table measures how often it happens. Or if it's not like if it's not like likelihood, it just measures the occurrence. Owen, focus. All right, so here we go. The table contains data about the location of 120 animals. Total and total. Where am I going to put 120 animals?
Bottom right. Bottom right. Where it says
Bottom right. Because that's the total number. What does this box, I'm going to put my pen there. What does this box right here? Elephants
Sanctuary.
in the sanctuary. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Lions in the wild.
Oh, there's 10 lines.
Bears, total number of bears. Right, so these are going to be kind of like those logic puzzles that you've filled out maybe in the past that you've done where it talks about like Sarah is not wearing red, but then it talks about Kevin has on the favorite color, like all of those things, and you just go back and forth till you narrow it down. It says 1/4 of the animals are in the wild. 120 divided by 4 is 30, but where does that 30 go?
Total wild.
It goes wild, total. So 30.
Yeah, I got it.
It says the same number of animals are located in the rehabilitation center as the sanctuary.
45. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me where that came from, Jude.
Because I knew that the wild already had 30, so I did 120 minus 30 for 90 and divide by 2, that's 45. Sweat.
So he knows that total is 120, that the wild has 30, meaning there's 90 left over. And there's the same number of animals in the rehab center as the sanctuary. So the same means that they're even, so he's dividing by 2 to get 45 in both. Good. There is data for 40 elephants in all. Where should that go?
Total under elephant.
Total under
Elephant total is 40. Half of the elephants are in the rehabilitation center. So where should that go?
25. Oh, wait, 20.
Elephants,
Yeah, 25.
rehab is 20, because that's half.
Yeah, you're right.
There are none of the elephants in the sanctuary. So 0. And what should go here? 20.
Yeah, why is it 0 on the sanctuary? Luke, just figure it
It says none of the elephants are in the sanctuary.
out. These are so tough.
1/3 of the animals in the sanctuary are bears. So sanctuary is 45, right? What's 1/3 of 45?
15.
15 are bears.
That means 30.
Means that there are 30 lions.
Or equal to 1. I didn't ask that.
There are 10 lions in the wild. Lions, wild, 10. What else can I do?
That means there's 0 in the wild held bears.
0 bears in the wild.
So smart.
Then there could be 25, 15, 10.
Do I have anything? Not anything else yet. There are twice as many lions in the rehab center as the wild.
So I'm talking about this year, 15 to
So I can write a math problem to help my brain think of it. So 2x, right? 2x plus x equals lions. Where's my lions?
We don't know the exact number.
Okay, so then I can say there are twice as many lions in the rehab center as the wild. So wild is 10. So how many are here? 20.
Which means bear rehab.
Writing an equation makes it more complicated.
Yeah.
We know it all.
So then this would be
5.
5. This is 20.
And then 60. 60.
And does this match?
Yes.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
How does that work?
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm down.
No.
Okay,
You're saying here.
ready? So this is the creation and the reading of a frequency table.
That's what you did.
Creation and reading of a frequency table. Now we're going to apply a frequency table data. A track coach asks all 16 track members to participate in a 2-question survey. Survey question 1, are you in the strength training program? Survey question 2, which warm-up do you prefer, lunges or squats? So my data is over here on the side.
Of course.
This is my data.
Okay.
Student 1, yes lunges, no lunges, yes lunges, yes lunges, right? There are 2 things that we're measuring. Sometimes it's one piece of information, but sometimes there's a comparison, right? Sometimes it's 7th graders, 8th graders, and 9th graders answering. There are 3 categories that we fit into, right? There's going to be a different way of measuring every time. This data is also put into what's called a stacked bar graph. A stacked bar graph shows us 2 values in 1 value. If I read this, I could read this as 10 students prefer lunges. Of those 10 students who prefer lunges, 7 are in some category and 3 are in this other category. So let's make our key. Lunges, I should have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That works. What does unshaded versus shaded? Grayson, what is unshaded?
Strength training program.
Means yes or no?
Oh. Yes.
So there are, which one? Give me more words.
Shaded one is yes.
Shaded one is yes in the strength training program. How do you know, Xylan?
Because on the right part, there's more yes.
So with the lunges, there's 1 yes, 2, 3.
Oh.
No, it's not. ZZ Cheetah. Sold the bag.
So there are 3 yeses. So is unshaded or shaded?
Unshaded.
That's a yes. Oh my. Now just change my
She's all over.
crap.
It's okay.
Strength training program.
Unshaded is yes, they're in the strength training program. Shaded is no strength.
See, I was still right.
We never said you were wrong.
I just asked for words. I just asked for you to use your words. Now, if there are 10 students that prefer lunges, without counting, how many prefer squats?
6.
Why 6, Addie?
Because there's 16 total.
Because there's 16 total.
This is right.
So I'm going to go up to 6, and I'm going to draw my bar, because it's measuring, this bar is really measuring 3 values. It's measuring the number of kids that like lunges. It's measuring the number of kids that like lunges and are in strength, and it's measuring the number of kids that are no strength in lunges. So my first value is 6 for total number of students that prefer squats. Now I go to squat, yes. Squat, yes. Squat, yes. Squat, yes. Yes is 4. And no is 2. So, I'm going to keep no on bottom because no is already on bottom. No strength is 2 because no matching squats, because that's what we're doing right here, is 2. And then my top part is 4. We can then take this data, whether it's in a stacked bar graph or just list of data, and I can fill in down here. What's my total? 16. How many kids prefer lunges? 10 total. How many prefer squats total? 6. How many are in the strength and lunges? Yes. Lunges. 3. Making this 7. How many squat? Yes.
Yes.
4.
Total is 7.
2. What's here?
7 and 9.
Is that what we're kind of doing today on your paper?
Wait.
Next paper.
These totals down here come from adding up your bars in their correctly shaded indicators. Next one. Pilar makes a two-way frequency table. So we're measuring 2 values. Or not 2 values. We're measuring 2 questions. Two-way frequency table. There are more than 2 answers, but there are 2 questions. Those 2 questions are probably age and what you do on the 4th of July. Pilar makes a 2-way frequency table after asking people in her neighborhood if they typically attend a barbecue or see fireworks on the 4th of July. Some of the frequencies appear in the table. Let's fill it in. Barbecue only. I've got 2. I don't know the adults. I know 0 seniors, but I know the total is 3. So I can use this to fill in 1. I'm missing too much information for fireworks only. I can fill in both. 6, 7 is 13. 1 to make a total of 14. I have 3 total. So 1, 0, and 2. I now have all of my senior data. Let's check it. 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. Jackson, come sit on the end right here. Going backwards here, I've got 12. 1 and 6 makes 7. And 2 makes 9. So my missing value is 3. Owen, please put your...
Where's how I think that's it.
1, 2, 7, 10. You have no business being in someone else's business.
And then 26.
Then I can go, because I don't have enough information to go vertically here, but I can go horizontally.
Well, yeah,
3, 2, 1 is 6. Now I can go vertically.
But you could have said the other way.
I could have gone the other way.
You said 16.
9, 3, 12, 26. Now, when you're filling in that data, Xylan, keep your hands to yourself. If you cannot, you will move to a different spot. From here, you need to check, because it's really easy to make a mistake. It's calculator. Just put them all in. Make sure that your totals match horizontally and vertically before you lose points for adding wrong. Another vocabulary term that we're going to talk about is categorical variable. A categorical variable, what is the root of this word?
Cat.
Not cat.
Category.
Category.
Good boy.
Category. Variable is the unknown. A categorical variable is a variable that represents the data being sorted. Categorical variable. There are 2 of them in this problem. The 2 variables in this problem are what and what. What are we measuring, Gavin?
Age of activity.
Age and activity. I like to think of them as the labels for the row and column. If I was going to label the top, children, adults, seniors, I'd put age. If I was going to label the column, barbecue only, fireworks only, both or neither, that's what you do, the activity you completed. How many seniors typically see fireworks but do not attend a barbecue? Fireworks, no barbecue.
1 and 1.
Senior, fireworks only, 1.
Oh. Yep. Shoot. Wait, I still got it right.
I could also say 1 out of 26, correct?
Yeah.
I can then use that to make a prediction, because it's not 1 out of 26
It's 1 out.
seniors, it's 1 out of 26 people surveyed. Good question we had. Tomorrow we'll talk about ways of comparing. You can compare statistically of just seniors. You can compare statistically out of all people surveyed. You can compare statistically out of only people who view fireworks. There are 3 statistical comparisons we can make. That's tomorrow. It's called relative frequency, meaning it changes based on what you're comparing. Because if I'm doing everybody, 1 out of 26 is a pretty small percentage, correct? But if I just compare seniors, 1 out of 4 is much larger than 1 out of 26. Look, find it, write it down. Look, find it, write it down. What does 7 represent? Look, find it, write it down. Look, find it, write it down. Elijah. Clementine, what does 7 represent?
7 adults attend both the firework and the barbecue.
Adults, barbecue, and fireworks. To say adults both is true.
Yep.
But adults both does not tell us what and what. What is both? Give categorical variables.
What if I wrote adults who do both activities?
Yep. Yes, that's true. I'm just saying, like, when you're looking at this, if you're comparing a set of data and Luke is comparing a different set of data, both students can say, oh, it's both categories, but they have different categories. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You need to be specific. Look, write it down. What does 12 represent? Look, write it down. Calvin, what does 12 represent?
The total amount of children.
Total number of children, what?
Survey. Total of the children.
Asked, surveyed. It does not mean that there are 12 children in the world,
I mean, there's more children in this room.
right? It does not mean 12 children. It means 12 children were asked what they did on 4th of July. How many people do not typically go to a barbecue or see fireworks?
3.
3 out of 26.
So we say neither, right? And it's total, because it's how many people, inclusive. 3 out of 26 surveyed. Good. Do not barbecue or fireworks. Maybe they do something else. Maybe they go swimming at the pool. No.
Maybe they hide it under the bed, like dogs.
Maybe they're scared. How many people does Pilar survey about 4th of July?
26 Pupil survey.
Pupil.
EPL.
That's how I always use
Okay, you make this two-way data table. Talk about it. Figure it out.
What's a two-way table?
Wait for
This.
Table data.
You're making this for this. Identify your categorical variables. What is it asking you?
If you have a driver's license or do not have a driver's license.
So
16.
I'm going to put age. Could you put age along the top? Sure.
What do you say?
He doesn't want to say nothing.
You were supposed to say, excuse me.
You're the one who pulled out your chair.
I'm stretching.
It's not gonna do water. I finished the tea.
You didn't say please.
Who's fault? Who's at fault? Me stretching or him not saying excuse me?
All of you.
Oh.
all
But
of
it's your
them.
classroom.
Okay. There are two items being measured. Right? Age and driver's license.
Yep.
Because it's a 2x2, your grid has to actually be a 3x3 because we have to include a total.
Why is your remote?
Look at my fence.
So I need to do it. She just brushed it.
16 to 19 has a driver's license. 3. No license 7.
3, 7, and then
10. 21. 5, right? 26. 24. 12. 36.